Are you serious about becoming a better angler? Increasing your catch rate? Then be sure to check out the Teachin' Fishin' subscription service. The Teachin' Fishin' subscription service gives you access to exclusive web programming, seminars, live events, articles, workshops, and more every month. Early registration times and discounts on classes, events, and fishing education weekends gives you first chance to guarantee your spot. Check out the Teachin' Fishin' subscription service benefits and sign-up information by going to teachinfishin.com and following the links.
So it is the morning of August 3rd, 2020. We are together here for August. Phil Bonnell, good morning. I've got a new viewer. Erilyn is here. I got an email this morning that Erilyn, Phil and Jacqueline's new daughter, is home. Boy, what a awesome thing that is. We're so thankful. We've been praying really hard for Phil and Jacqueline and Erilyn specifically to get them home. And looks like Erilyn is home. I think Jacqueline is doing well. Phil, that is such a blessing. We're so thankful that that everybody is good. Glad to hear that. So I got a new viewer this morning. Tell you what, she's young enough to understand that Captain Lance gets it. So she hasn't had anybody put bad ideas in her head yet. Phil, we're going to try to teach her how to fish right from the start. How's that? Pretty thankful that they're home. That is awesome. Roy Miller, Forrest Benzing. Forrest and my dad are going to be playing golf about 10 o'clock this morning. I know that. If it doesn't rain too bad. Boy, my lawn is terrible, like you guys. So looks like I'm going to be doing some push mowing and bagging tomorrow. I got a lot to get done today. So came over here yesterday, got a lot of work done in the office, got some paperwork done, got caught up on my favorite thing, paying bills. Jeez. But man, you just got to do it. Joey Zyla, John Miller. Good to see you guys. Brian Wolfgram, our good friend from Iowa. Good to see him. Mike Wagner. Ron Kaczynski. Hi, Ronnie. Walter Cross, our good friend from Metro Detroit Walleye Stalkers. Good to see him this morning. Ryan Bombeck says he's headed to the Big Lake this morning. Erie is going to be a muddy mess on the Canadian side for days, so it's Lake Ontario for Kings with the kids. Dr. Vossalo was over there the other day over at Alcott and did pretty well on Kings and some steelhead. Good place to fish. I had a chance to fish 3 Scotty tournaments 1 year over there out of different ports over there on the Canadian side of Lake Ontario, and pretty impressed. That's some pretty good fishing over there. So one day we'll get a chance to get back there, I hope. But good for you, Ryan. Jason Street, Gooch is with us. Hey, Gooch. Yes. Matt, I did. I'm working on a list for you, and then I'm trying to find you a deal on a Sonic Cub. So sit tight. I'll get with you today. My phone is still on. That's bad. Nick Morales. Hi, Nikki. How are you? I guess I don't need my phone if I'm talking to you guys here, do I? So sorry about that. Apologize. All right, so let's get caught up here. I want to make this quick. We're going to go for an hour. We're going to be done at 8:15. So this week's fishing. How do I describe this week's fishing on Saginaw Bay? Yes, we did some fishing. I'm trying to remember exactly who I had. I don't have my calendar. I wish I would get my phone. I could have got my calendar. But I know we started the week on Sunday with, I want to say Mark Natel and his family started our week on Sunday, and we did okay. Had Monday and Tuesday off, obviously. Didn't get to fish Friday with Dave, and canceled Saturday morning because of the weather. So we basically had Wednesday and Thursday. I'm trying to think how Wednesday morning I had Todd Sydenham. We had a tough day. We went over to the east side. Okay, so there we go. So Sunday we were over on the east side of the bay, on the west side of Callahan Reef, and freaking drilling. We were with Mark Natal and his family, with Randy, with Bailey and I'm drawing a blank, and I apologize. We had Mark Natel's group out, and we did well. We ended up keeping 25. We handled probably 30, 32 keepers to the back of the boat. We had one in the net, a nice one in the net, and just as I went to net, the lure came off and flew at me, and I kind of flinched. When I flinched, the net fell. The fish obviously was off the hook because the hook came flying back at my head, and the fish rolled out. Whoops. So we did really well Sunday morning on the west side of Callahan, or on the east side of Saginaw Bay. Went back over there Wednesday morning, and there was nothing. There was no bait, there was no fish, and it was a little rough. And one thing, you know, the pontoon is not a 50-mile-an-hour boat, right? It's about 25 to 30, so you really can't move a lot. So we were down there, didn't catch anything. Caught one dumb one. Went up a little bit further north, closer to buoy 1, where we had marked some fish the other day. And we got in there, and there were marks everywhere. There was that huge pot of perch I talked about was there. The nets were still there. The commercial nets were still there. A lot of walleye, 12, 14, 15 feet down. And tried to set up, couldn't get those going. We're making a switch from cranks on both sides to putting lead core in the water, because I kind of knew my depths would be better. A lot easier to get to 12, 15 feet with lead core and a spoon than it is with the lures we were fishing. And there has been a big switch for us from flicker shads to number 7 flicker minnows. There's been a big change in that shape of the crankbait. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. There was a big change in that, so I had all flicker minnow 7s on. So anyway, we're getting ready to change. I called one of our buddies, Captain Ed Padnote. He was right in front of the marina. He had like 9, and it was like, you know, it was 11:30, so we ran over there and got 3 right in front, and then the bite kind of died. So bad deal there. We just ran to the wrong place. So Wednesday night, I went up north of Pink County Bar. Captain Doug Ward, who I saw here this morning, I've been staying in touch with him. He's had some good fishing up there north of the Pink County Bar. I've had some good fishing up there north of the Pink County Bar this time of year specifically. We were over there about a week ago and did really well before that Callahan Reef bite started. We got up there Wednesday night and flat out drilled them. Jeff Godey went with me. I first made it. Tom Block and his buddy Regan went with us that night. We had a great night. I think we ended up with 12 or 13. Got them pretty good. And then we went back there Thursday morning and got 25. Went back Thursday night, got 19. And tried to get up there. Dave Assam and his group came on Friday morning. Dave, I think, is with us this morning. I thought we were going to have a weather window to get up there, so I moved the trip back to 8, so I thought we'd have a weather window. And we got about 2 miles on the way up, and we had northeast about 12 to 15. It was coming right at us. I thought, it's an 11-mile run up to where we're fishing. I thought, man, if I can get up there, we're going to catch them. And coming from the south up there, we just couldn't get there. We got about 2 miles there. Got one of those sets of 3 waves. You guys all been on the Great Lakes understand, you know, that first wave and second wave was okay. That third wave, the pontoon went down. You know, any boat would have done it, but the pontoon went down. And when I looked up, you know, I'm kind of driving, I looked, and that third wave, we were, the top of the pontoon floor was at the bottom of the wave, and that wave broke, and actually we had green water, fresh water, actually broke right at the console of the boat. So it was 12, 15 feet back, and just soaked everybody. I'm like, okay, you know, we got 9 more miles of this. we kind of called her a day, and we went to, yeah, Scotty, we did. We waited until the storm went by, and we got out and got them pretty good on Wednesday night. So we decided to call it Friday, went to breakfast, and went to Frank's and spent some money. So it was a good week. But we've seen a big change. I'm running all flicker minnow 7s, up where I'm fishing 35 to 40 back. Catching lots of fish still on the 30 jets on the corner with small spoons. The floating weeds are terrible. Dougie Ward just made a comment, 45 fish Thursday and Friday, and then he blanked on Saturday. Now, I canceled Saturday. I woke up at 5. I checked the weather report. I told my guy the night before. The weather report looked iffy at best. And Carol got up with me, and I said, I just got a gut feeling today is not going to be good. And that was on Saturday. I said, I just got a gut feeling that I just don't think this is going to be a good deal. So I called and canceled Saturday, and sounds like might have been the right thing. So Dougie Ward had 45 fish Thursday and Friday night. He's up there north of the Pink County Bar too. Blanked on Saturdays. Covered 51 miles in 5 spots. It is getting tougher, and it's not so much the fishing isn't all that tough. It's that the conditions are tough. Remember, summertime. So you guys who aren't on Erie, because I saw Matt's report about Erie. He would describe walleye fishing on Erie as fast and furious. In the deep, miles offshore, 12 miles out, most fish 300 wire with bandits and the rest on dipsies and spoons, 22 to 24 inches with 2 over 26. Great fishing. See the problem on Saginaw Bay. Hey, David Geiger, welcome. A new guy here, invited by Gooch. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Scotty Hoover said he saw us on whatever night it was after the storms, Wednesday night. John Balla from Illinois. Hi, Johnny. How are you? Todd Visnall, Mark Ash. Good morning, guys. August fishing is good. The problem is, remember, one of the things we're dealing with in August is the bait fish population is probably at its highest it's going to be. Everything is hatched. The shiners are getting mature adult size. The shad, and we had some shad in our live well the other day over on the Callahan Reef. The shad population is good. The perch population is amazing on Saginaw Bay. I'm getting a lot of 2, 3, 4 inch perch in my live well. I had one the other day. I had a perch that came out of walleye. It was about 7 inches long up in those shallow water, weedier areas. So there's lots of bait, right? Fish are feeding more often because their metabolism is the highest in the summer. So they actually feed more in the summer than they ever do any other time of year because they have to, because their metabolism, especially in that shallow water, we're dealing with 75 to 80 degree surface temperatures. Their body's metabolizing their food faster, so they're eating more often. But there's more food, so it's harder to compete with a fake lure with all that bait. I'm going to talk to you about speed here in just a second. So that's part of it. Second part is this time of year we've had a lot of pleasure boaters, and we're starting to get, you're already starting to see the weeds kind of get iffy. Floating weeds, I mean, holy moly. We were up there the other night. I had a dipsy or a jet diver on each corner, and I only ran 3 boards. And by the time I got my 6th board, I was reeling my first one and taking the weeds off it. About every 2 to 3 minutes, I'd reel a rod in, usually with a weed, sometimes with a fish. It was miserable. Just a lot of work with the floating weeds. So there's lots of things. Fishing is good in August, and the fishing can be good, but there's a lot of things in the conditions that make it really hard. And we're starting to get these storms again, right? We've got the warmest water we're going to get. We got the warmest temperatures on land we're going to get. You get this weather coming over this big giant massive body of water at Saginaw Bay. It collects energy. Just a lot of things that go on in August that just make fishing tough. And one of the problems with Saginaw Bay, and again, it's a great problem to have, but one of the problems with Saginaw Bay compared to Erie is where I'm at specifically, in Linwood, which I probably won't ever leave there for my walleye fishing. Let me back up. For my summertime guiding, it takes me forever to get access to deep water. For me to get to 40 feet of water is an hour trip. I just don't have that access to deep water. Dougie's up there in Augrey, and I'm going to guarantee if he put 51 miles on and fished 5 spots, I guarantee you he checks in deep water. He's too good of a fisherman to not. We don't have access to deep water like you do at Erie. So 12 miles for us, really, even if we go out on a 30 to 40 degree course past buoy 1 and 2, we're not even in 40 feet of water. We're not even 30 really, or maybe 30, 31. So we don't have access to that deeper, colder water. That's one of the problems we have where I launch. It's also one of the beauties of where I launch because it makes you concentrate. Anyway, so there's been a big difference in the shape of the lures this year. The number 7 flicker minnow as opposed to the number 7 flicker shad has been better for me, and slow this year. We've talked for years about going fast, right? And we have tried it, but I'll tell you what, we're actually at I really can't say slow because a lot of you guys are going to go that's fast, but I'm staying 2.2 to 2.4. That seems to be my number. 2.6, 2.7, I don't catch as many fish. So, again, speed is the easiest thing to change, right? So we've been staying 2.2, 2.4. We've been catching, so here's what's funny. Catching fish on the outside turns, so we bump the speed up and catch nothing. So we've been doing a lot of turning, getting that boat at 2.2 to 2.4, which is easy to do. I don't even have to have bags out with that Suzuki. I just dial in the trolling mode. We're right there at 2.2, 2.4. Doing a lot of turning, catching fish on the turns, but when I increase my straight line speed, I don't catch as many fish. So who knows? So just kind of taking that for what it's worth. But that's been a key for us, has been 2.2 to 2.4 up there. So that's kind of what's going on the inner bay. Matt says his live well was full of smell. So yeah, he's out there in that deep water. That makes a ton of sense. Rock Campbell headed to fish Cedarville, Hessel, Detour, Drummond Island. Rock, I'll get a hold of you. That's a lot of water, dude. A lot of water. A lot of water. Leslie Dennis, good luck. Saw you. Scotty Smith, hi Scott. Alex Vasher, hi Alex. Jim and Lisa Valentine, our good friends from Lindy's Sales and Service up there in, what actually is the town up there? We call it Unionville? Do we call it? Up there on M25. Great people, fantastic marina, top-notch people, not just because their name is Valentine, but top-notch people up there. If you're looking for boat or service and you're up that way on M25, on the by Quanakee, Quanakee is the town. By Quanakee, stop by and see the people at Lindy's Sales and Service. Awesome people. Just stop in and say hi. Doug Ward says perch for sure. Yeah, I've been talking to Doug almost every day. Thankful for that new friendship. He's been catching on live tiger, perch, crankbaits, and some of Jeremy Crosby's custom perch have been the best baits. Green chrome too. I've caught most of mine anything with purple. Purple candy, purple tiger, purple Bengal. I got one hot one I call Pinky Tuscadero. It's kind of a muted gray body with a black top and a little pink firetail. She's been really good. So I got Pinky Tuscadero and J-Lo. I'm building me a little super girl group in my boat there. But what I found up there is when you're on them, you're on them. When you're in a spot, it doesn't really matter. Lots of oranges and pinks on the bellies, though. Those are doing two keys for us up there. Doug Ward said he fished 7 to 36 feet of water on Saturday and didn't catch a walleye. So, something about Saturday when I woke up just said it's not going to be a good day. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was intuition. I don't know if it was gut feeling. I just had a feeling Saturday was not going to be good. So, unfortunately, we pulled the plug. Dave Fowler said Lake Erie, Lorraine Sandbar edges near the Canadian line. Bandits and Ozeri crystal minnows with 50 to 60 feet. So he's running 50, then a 2 or 3 ounce snap weight, and 60 more. So that sounds like that deep water is the deal. And again, I don't have access to that type of fishing where I'm at. So great, thanks David, thank you for the report. So if you're going to Erie, sounds like you need to get out of some deeper water out there and fish deep. 30 fish on both Friday and Saturday. Good for you, David. Awesome. Thank you for the report. Dean Ashley, Scotty Bird. Hi, Scotty. Roy Miller, 1 fish out by buoy number 1 last Saturday. Marked a ton. It's just there's just so much bait. Scotty Hoover says, wow, he had the same thing going on. Go straight and speed up. Nothing. Turn, fish on. But you know what? But now we're turning a lot. We're not going straight very often. So sometimes sometimes you take what the fish give you, and the faster you figure out that's what it is, the more you do. So I was doing a lot of turning. And honestly, I don't mind turning. It's easy, it's easy to turn. But one of the things that turning does do is when you do get a little bit of weed on your bait, if you turn both ways, right, as you increase the speed on the outside, those baits with weeds float to the top. So a little easier to catch. But man, yeah, doing a lot of turning. Randy Hackett. Hi, Randy. How are you? Larry Kammer is with us. He's with his son over on Green Bay, getting ready to fish the MWC next week. Good to see them. Brad Steed says we're all struggling at East End. What's going on? It's just it's August. It's August. It's just August. It's days of plenty and days of none. It's kind of what summertime Saginaw Bay interbay fishing is. It just is what it is. So guys ask me, how's it going? I'm like, well, it's not even day to day. It's trip to trip. And it is. It's trip to trip right now. Dan Woodward's old enough to remember Pinky Tuscadero. I like it. Scott King says rough on Saturday. Scott Hoover, that's why he slept in. Doug said Saturday you stayed out of the Pinconning area due to the weeds and figured there would be lots of boats. Stayed north and east. Matt says on Lake Erie, fish are 35. The fish are 35 to 50 feet down in the water column. Craig Kitts catching fish from 20 to 60 feet on Erie. That's if I was going to do a fun fishing trip. I don't know that I would come to Saginaw Bay. I would go to Erie. And it's funny, Carol and I talked the other day about maybe looking for a new place. We've either got to build a good sized garage here, and we're here. If you don't know the story, Carol's mom is half a block from us. She's 85 and been widowed since 2001. Carol works 6 blocks away from the house. She's not working at home, but we've been talking about, so our life is kind of here, right? My mom and dad are about 3 miles from us. My brother's about a half mile from us. So our life is kind of here. I'm 1 mile from I-69. I'm 3/4 of a mile from 475. So with what I do, I'm right in a great spot. But we'd like to find something else. We got talking, and I asked her where she would like to go, and she's like, I don't know. She's like, where would you like to go? I said, well, I'd like to go a lot closer to Lake Erie, because if I could get within an hour of Erie and have the same drive to Erie that I have to Saginaw, I don't think I'd ever fish Saginaw Bay much. So anyway, that's kind of just my thoughts. There you go. Kyle Davis can't hardly justify chasing walleye in Erie. Perch bite. I'll tell you what, I haven't talked to Scott Keene, and Scott's one of those stealthy guys who catches a bunch of perch and doesn't say much. But I have found a couple big pods of perch, and I'm really close to throwing some spinning rods in the boat. I don't think you need live minnows to catch perch. I think you can catch them on our stuff, especially the way they're schooled up. Probably going to do some perch charters late August, early September. I got some other things I have to do or have to replace that I lost because of this COVID thing. But I think the perch bite's going to be good this year. We've caught 2 perch over 12 inches trolling this year, and we've caught multiple 10, 11 inch perch. And I mean probably 3 dozen of them just trolling crankbaits. So there's some good perch around. Lauren says, where do you find 60 feet in Michigan waters? You don't. You have to go to Ohio. Vermilion and east. If you want to fish that 60 feet of water, you got to go to Vermilion, Ohio, and then or east of there, and go out and east. That's where that 60 foot of water is. That's what it is. Yeah, Lauren, if you want to get 60 feet, you got to be in Ohio. Without question, you got to be in Ohio. Scotty, did they finish northbound? Yes, I-475 north and south is completely open. It's actually pretty nice. So that cuts a little bit of time on my trip. Scotty Keene says it's perch time. Boy, and we are seeing some really cool perch. Now, I don't want to get too far into this because I want to do some perch talks a little bit later. But here's what I'm going to tell you. From what I've seen on the sonar, if you're fishing on the bottom, traditional perch methods, bottom, sinker on the bottom, a hook maybe 6 inches up, and maybe a hook 12 inches up, I am going to tell you that you probably aren't going to catch a lot of perch on Saginaw Bay. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to tell you this. My perch rods, I will have more perch rods with slip bobbers so I can fish a certain depth than I will with perch spreaders that I'm off the bottom. I'm just going to leave it at that. leave it at that. Ray Smith, Larry Ellett, Larry Schneider, Mike Steffes from Warrior Lures. How are you? Mike is, we've got on this. Doug says his answering service says hi, Lance. Every time I call Doug, his wife answers. So she's a lot better fisherman, I think, than Doug. So I'm just going to talk to her from now on. Tell Linda I said hi, Doug. That's funny. As soon as I get the perch fishing thing figured out, I've got a few things I have on the books that I have to do in August, September. So once I get that figured out, I'll let you guys know. Dan Oberst wants to go. Rock Campbell wants to go. I think it'll be fun. Corey Brown says, how about a talk about picking a tournament partner? I'm working on that. I'm working on a couple of guys to kind of maybe join us for a Zoom meeting. I want a couple of guys at a couple of different levels. I think that'd be a great conversation, Corey. So that is definitely on my mind. I'm working on getting some guys together to actually do that. Because there's a lot about picking not just a tournament partner, but picking a team to work with. I want to talk to some guys about that. Ed says, still playing your Erie Fall event? As of right now, yes, but we haven't put up details. I saw that Diane Steele was here this morning. I got to talk to her today. We haven't put up details yet for the September trip in Dunkirk, New York, or the November trip in Ohio, because we just don't know. That Ohio trip happens right before the election in a state that has proved that their governor's as big of a jerk as the governor here in Michigan. So it's right before the election. Are they going to say, hey, if you're going to come to Ohio, you got to quarantine for, 12, 14, 16 days? Are they going to let us put 100 people in one building to do a seminar? Is the hotel going to be able to accommodate 120 people? Lots of things to think about. So we're kind of hanging on. What I don't want to do is take a bunch of reservations, take a bunch of money, and then have to refund it. So we're working on other options for the fall trip. And we're trying to figure out where we're going to be. Honestly, I don't think we're going to know. I think at some point we're going to have to make a decision, yes or no. And if it's yes, just take people's money, set it aside. And if we don't go, we refund it. It's just hard. I don't want to get too far, but like a lot of you guys, we did a quick tally the other day, and with what we've lost this year, charters, speaking engagements, seminars, a couple shows, all my fall motor guide, distributor show stuff, we're about 60 grand in the hole. That we're never going to be able to replace. If we lose that fall trip, I might be talking to you with a tin can and a string because we might not be able to afford internet access if we lose that fall trip. So I get a little emotional talking about it because, anyway, it is what it is. Lauren says his reason for the post. Yeah, Lauren, I understood it exactly. So Lauren, his reason for the post is misleading to those who aren't familiar with Lake Erie. Yeah, when someone posts catching 20 to 60, 70, 80 feet of water, if you fish Michigan water, no idea. I mean, you got to go to Ohio. You have to go to Ohio. And again, with this whole thing, who the hell knows? Roy says he thinks he's taking the 9-year-old out. Shoot me an email if you do, Roy. I've got some numbers that should be close. Brian Maxwell, one of our friends up there at Linwood Beach Marina. Hey, Brian, did Debbie tell you that you and Becky and Brian or Brad and Debbie are going to be? There's Debbie Peterson. Did Debbie tell you that she booked a Detroit River jigging trip on May 5th with you and Becky and Brad and Debbie? Looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Matt, yeah, absolutely. If we decide we're going to go, we'll go. So, all right, a couple things I wanted to get into today. We talked about the Type 1 life jackets earlier. I think I'm going to go with the Sterns. They're a little bit more expensive. They're going to be about $80 a piece compared to about $45 a piece with the Kents. But looking at it, they're going to be about twice as much. But I really, really like the way the Sterns fit. I like the way they're built. I just really like them. So it's time to find $1,500 in the budget and get a whole bunch of those. I need 8 adults for the pontoon, and I need 5 adults for the polar craft. So I need 13 life jackets. So, but we're gonna go with the Stearns as opposed to the Kent. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna check them one more time today just to be sure the money is worth it. Because the Kent ones are really, really good, and I can get those for I think $40. I had to do a little shopping around. None of my distributors carry any of them, so there we go. I gotta buy them all at retail, which kind of makes me mad. But anyway, all right. So that's kind of what's going on in the fishing world. A couple of reports from Lake Erie. Saginaw Bay is hit or miss. I wanted to talk to you about a few things I've seen on our forums lately. So I have a lot of guys that are putting radios in their boat, and I've seen a couple posts about DSC. And that's that digital selective calling, and that's basically the distress call. So what it is when you push a button on your radio, it sends your position to the Coast Guard and continues to send that position until you turn it off. So the way DSC traditionally works is you have a connection between your radio and your sonar GPS unit on your boat. Now, there's 2 ways to do that. There's the old way, which is NEMA 0183, which is a bunch of wires. So these wires here. And you hook the green from one to the orange from the receiver, however it goes. It's a big giant mess. So you have to hook, green to yellow and bare to orange, and it's just a pain. It is NMEA, the National Marine Electronics Association, so there is standards, but it is a deal. You have to set your unit up. You have to get the right color wires from each unit, test those, set the baud rate on the radio, set the baud rate on your sonar GPS, get everything right before it sends it. There's two much better ways to do that. Number one, if you have a sonar GPS unit that has NEMA 2000, some of the new radios, and I would tell you to look for this. Now, they're going to be a little more expensive, okay? I'm going to tell you it's going to save you the aggravation. Buy a radio that's NEMA 2000 ready, because now all you have to do is buy another 2-foot pigtail and a T, hook the radio into your NEMA 2000 network, and now it's very easy to say, you just tell it GPS source, and it grabs the GPS source from the sonar GPS, and you're done. That's it. You're done. You're finished. That's all you got to do. Plug that wire in, pop, 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 about 4 pushes on the menu in your radio, done. So if you're buying a new marine radio, buy one that's at least NEMA 2000 ready. It hooks to your NEMA 2000 network you should already have in your boat anyway. It just hops in there with another T, done, finished. You don't have all the aggravation. The other way that I would highly suggest you go is the new Lowrance radios. This is a Link 6, fairly inexpensive radio. The Link 6 and the Link 9. The Link 9 is a little more expensive. It has AIS receiver on it. But the Link 6 is a fairly inexpensive radio. And again, you're counting on your life sometimes for this radio to work. Now, one of the things we did, I'm going to kind of back up and explain this to you. When my brother Kirk and I were, when we owned the 2A radio shop, we would travel around and we would do lots of sports shows. And at the time, everybody had a VHF radio. And we had a high quality machine that we used for our 2A radio business that would check and tune VHF radios. And that's all this is. This is just a VHF radio. And we used to do lots of police and fire, same radio. So Kirk would take that machine and he would test the radios. And what we found out is even though the box says 25 watts, very, very few radios were 25 watts. And the less expensive the radio was, the better chance it had to not be 25 watts. So we tested a lot of radios that were $99, $119, $199. We tested a lot of those radios and they were putting out 14, 15, 16 watts. not a good deal. Back then, when you got into the, you got into 250, 299, 399 back then was a high expensive radio. Those numbers were up in the 18, 19, 20, 21 watts. They were a lot closer to 25. So I would discourage you from buying an inexpensive marine radio just because it's a save your life deal, right? So the Link 6, the Link 6 is $249 retail. The Link 9 is $499, but it has some other things on it. The beauty of the Link 6, built-in GPS antenna. You don't have to link this to anything. You put this on your boat, done. You've got DSC instantly. It has its own position finder. You don't have to link it to anything. It's done. That is an absolute 100% beauty of this radio. You're finished. Hook it up your boat, put power to it, put an antenna, push the DSC, they got you. So if you're looking for a marine radio, the Link 6 has its own built-in GPS. You don't have to worry about hooking it to another unit. You don't have to worry about getting a GPS signal from another unit. You don't have to worry about any of that. You have your own deal. It's a great radio to take with you. Everything you need is all in one package, and you are finished. You don't have to do anything else to make this work. Okay? So that is a pretty good deal there. I like that. So that's the Link 6. So if you're looking for a radio, think about the Link 6, or if you want a higher quality radio, the Link 9. That's what I went with on the Polarcraft. I went with the Link 6 on the pontoon to test the two of them against each other. But I'm really looking forward to using that Link 6 and not having to hook it up to anything. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's the Lowrance Link 6. Again, retail at $249. The other thing I wanted to show you, Lauren says, hooking up NEMA 0183 for DSC sucks, capital letters. Buy one with NEMA 2000. Yeah, that's a big, that's a huge part of that, without question. Phil says, have the marine radios moved to Ethernet yet? Now, no, they never will, because remember, Ethernet is a digital signal, so it's sonar, it's side imaging, it's map data, it's sending digital stuff. NEMA 2000 is analog, position, sensors, that type of stuff. So there's no reason for radios to ever be Ethernet, because Ethernet sends a digital signal, and all the GPS position is an analog signal. So there you go. John Morales should have bought a new Link 6. Frustrating process to hook up to an existing radio, but he's finally done. I think John might have been the one that I saw that was having a hard time. But yeah, buy a radio that either has NEMA 2000 or has its own built-in GPS receiver. Either one of those. I don't care which. One of the two of those. Okay. Now the other accessory I'm going to tell you is a must-have, and the price has come down. I've always thought this was a must-have, but they got to the point where they were too expensive for me to tell you they were a must-have. I'm going to tell you they're a must-have, especially if you fish the big water. Lauren says, recommendation for a handheld marine radio for a ditch bay. Lauren, I use a Lowrance Link 2. Awesome. Very, very easy to charge. They have an adapter that you can run a 12-volt charger in your boat. I use that Lowrance Link 2. I know last year I had it in my bag for almost 2 months, and when I turned it on, it still worked. I did buy a second battery for it just the other day, so in case I do get in trouble, I have 2 batteries. But the Lowrance Link 2 handheld is my favorite. Lightweight, small, 5 watts. Let me see if I can find. That's fixed VHF. I don't know if they have. Looks like they might not even make them anymore. Of course they wouldn't. Why would they? Because I like them, so why would they? I don't see the link to anymore. Let's see if I can find one. So no longer do they make the link to. So I got to find a new handheld radio. Perfect. So I'll get your report on that because obviously they don't make the link to anymore. That was my favorite. All right, another accessory. If you guys, again, fish the big water at all, and like I said, this was something that we've always used and absolutely loved, but they were expensive. They started out fairly cheap. They started out, you could get it for $99. Then they went to $600. And my question to the guys at Lowrance was, why $600 for this little item? Because it's a perfect accessory for Great Lakes boaters. And their response was, as every manufacturer is, the market will bear $600. I'm like, well, the problem is the market that can pay $600 for this is not the market that really needs this. So this is a Sirius XM receiver. They now retail for $449. They were at $600. They're now $449. There is a $100 rebate, so $349. This is a Sirius XM weather receiver. It'll also do radio, but it's a small little antenna that goes on your boat. Let me show you what we got here. It's a WM4, Weather Module 4. If you can find the old WM1s, buy one, because they were only $99. Excuse me, getting the COVID. But this is the antenna. You can mount it flat. Perfect. You can mount this little piece flat, like this, or you can mount it on this little stand if you need to. And this is the antenna, and it does XM radio, which is irrelevant or relevant to you. That's your choice. The biggest thing it does is it gives you Sirius weather. Now there is a subscription. It's about $200 a year to get the high-end subscription. There's a module that has to be powered up, so this will go underneath your dash. The antenna plugs into here, and then it simply links to your radio or your sonar GPS unit via Ethernet. So a very, very simple process to hook up. Now, what it does is this. I'm trying to find some pictures here. What it gives you is it gives you weather information that you cannot get anywhere else. Now, I know a lot of you use your phones, and I get all that. I use mine too, but I don't get the kind of information from my phone that I can get. And what we're running into is there are places on Saginaw Bay that my phone does not work. And that is frustrating. I had some pictures of this on one of my seminars. I can't remember which seminar I had on, so I'm going to try to go to the internet. So I don't want to do that. So what it does is it gives you, let's do this. There's a good shot of it right there. So you will get, let's see how big we can get this picture. You can get, if you do the high-end subscription, you can get, you're going to get wind. The biggest thing is you're going to get rain. So you're going to get a radar picture that is just like you would see on TV. I know you can't see that, but when you watch the Weather Channel and you get those radar pictures, right, with the storm, and you got the red and the green and the yellow, and you got the lightning strikes. That all shows up right on your Lowrance GPS as an overlay over your chart, so you can see the storm. You can see the storm coming. You can see which way it's moving. You can see what kind of wind is in there. If you buy the high-end subscription, I think it's called the Mariner subscription, it's the offshore, you get wave height, you get water temperature, you get all that stuff right onto your sonar overlay. So you get wind direction, you get wind speed, you get wave direction, you get wave height, you get water surface, water temperature, right on top, satellite of that, right over top of your Lowrance. You go, man, I wonder if the water is colder or warmer 20 miles away. Pop that up on your screen. If you've got the Mariner subscription, which you can buy in 6 months packages. So if you're a typical fisherman, you know, April, May, June, July, August, September, it kind of gets most guys. Or you can buy a yearly. You have all that right on top of your GPS. You can see these storms coming. So if you're on the lake, we were on the water the other day. We were over on the east side. And we saw a storm coming, and my phone didn't work. I didn't have phone coverage. So I'm like, I don't know where it's going. This is constant because it just works on the Sirius satellite system. It's called a WM4 weather module. Really a cool deal. A cool deal. I wouldn't be without one on the Great Lakes. They just got them back in. They were out of stock for a long time. I just got them in, so I'm going to put one on the pontoon, and I'm going to put one on the polar craft, just because of safety. I cannot tell you guys, and maybe some of you guys have been with me, but I can't tell you how many times I've been on the boat on the river and saw a storm coming and was able to simply move 5 miles north or south and completely miss a storm that was full of lightning, soaked guys, and made the day miserable. But by being able to see not only the storm, but how wide it is and which way it was coming, not only have I missed it, but I've also called a lot of my friends who I knew were fishing in an area that was going to get hit by the storm and said, hey, you need to get your butt back in. There are times we had a time 2 years ago, we ran back to the marina because we saw the storm coming. It wasn't obvious to see unless you could see it over to the west. Ran back to the marina, got in, got tied up, got off the boat, and we started, having a little chat with our group. And the rain came down in just buckets. I mean, 2-inch size raindrops for about half an hour, and we missed it. We were inside underneath the canopy. We missed it. So that was something I really wouldn't be without, is that weather module. So that is definitely something that I would not be without. Again, it's a little expensive. I'm not going to argue with you. It's $500 or $450 with a $100 rebate right now. They're not cheap, but I'll tell you what. I wouldn't be on the big water without one. I'm glad we finally got them back in stock. So I just got 3. I got one for the polar craft, one for the pontoon, and I sold one to Jeff at Trax Tech for the salmon fishing boat, because again, it's access to weather information in a way you're not going to get on a typical phone. And if you have no phone coverage, boop, you're in trouble. Dan says, for your ditch bag radio, find one that takes AA or AAA batteries in case your charger takes a crap or you get caught with a dead battery. I agree with that too. I have an old Humminbird that I just found that I liked, and I think I liked it because it had a tray that took 4 AA batteries. So I'm going to look into that. So Lauren, give me a couple days. I'm going to do some research on that. I've always used that Link too. I like it. It's right in my ditch bag. I grab it every 2 weeks and bring it home and charge it. But I do like that fact of a battery with a tray that takes multiple AA or AAA batteries. I do like that fact. I'm going to try to look. Give me just 2 seconds here, guys. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep chatting. I'm going to keep looking. I know I did a seminar that had a good picture of the weather radar on it. So I want to see if I can find it. Who knows where? Wind weather basics, maybe? Look at that. Hey, quick talk about what's going on here. If you're not a subscription member, August is going to be awesome. It's crankbait month. We're going to talk a lot about crankbaits. We've got some tips and tricks. Some short little tips from 30 seconds to 2 minutes that I did both here in the studio and I've done on the water. The biggest thing for subscription guys, we got 2 new seminars. We're going to get together one day, one night, and talk. We're going to do a new seminar as far as crankbait fishing in general, and then we are going to do a live new version of the sound seminar. If you haven't heard the sound seminar, there's some things that we have found out about sound that will affect how many fish you catch every day. I believe that 100%. And we're going to do a live seminar for the subscription guys this month. So August is loaded. The old crankbait crazy seminar, we've got a couple of the short study sessions that cover crankbaits that everybody will get. The subscription guys get the old crankbait seminar. We got a brand new live crankbait seminar we're going to do for the subscription guys. We have the sound seminar we're going to do for the subscription guys. And then we'll have a Q&A for both. I'll have a Q&A for the subscription folks, and we'll have a Q&A for the general audience. So if you're not a subscriber yet, this is the month to subscribe. This is definitely the month to get on the subscription. I know we're still running the $50 special for the rest of the year. You can go to teachandfishing.com and you can hop on there and scroll down below the TV section, and you will see the little promo, little box, little TV type box for the promo. Just above it, it says subscription service in letters. Click on that, and that'll take you to the what am I thinking about? That'll take you to the subscription page, and tell you all that's in the subscription service. So pretty cool little deal. All right, I'm going to spend just a few more minutes here looking for that picture. I want to show you guys. I have a good picture somewhere of the weather dealy-do, and I'd really like to show you a good picture of what you get, but I don't know what seminar it's in. This is the problem of having, I looked the other night, I have over 100 different seminars in my repertoire, and a lot of them need to be tweaked, they need to be gone back over, because I need some new pictures, I need some stuff, but there's a lot of cool stuff there. All right, give me one more place to look. This is 2019 Cutting Edge Electronics. We're talking about custom mapping inside Genesis, depth shading, side imaging, electronic trolling motors. I don't know. All right, I apologize. I have it somewhere. Sound, boat rigging. I don't have it. So I'll find a picture and post it up so you guys can see it. Sorry about that. Lawrence says, do subscribers still get discount at the Walleye 101 store? If so, what percentage? Depends on what you're buying. I can't do it on electronics. As far as the store goes, right now, the 10% discount is on Walleye 101 or Lance Valentine branded merchandise only. It has been a really, really, really hard year to get stuff. So prices have gone up. A lot of us that are in this business haven't been able to meet dealer minimums. So things that we would order from a deal or from a wholesaler, and order $3,000 worth of stuff and get free shipping. Now we're able, because of stock, we get $600 worth of stuff and we got to pay $45 in shipping. So a lot of things we were able to do with discounts we can't do anymore because we're getting beat up on the other end. I sold a guy a transducer the other day at listed price. because Lowrance has not changed their prices. And because of how I had to buy it and who I had to buy it from, a transducer, let's say it cost me $50, you sell it for 75, let's call it 80, buy it for 50, buy it for 80, I had $21 in freight. I made $9 on a transducer. So when you see the guys at the retail and getting a little cranky, it's true. I'm telling you, if you trust me, I'm telling you, it's true. The retail end is getting really, really hard. Everybody, this is, guys, this is affecting people in ways you never ever would have thought. Matt says, how do you get the weather module subscription? I think when you buy the unit, their subscription sold separately. See details on the side panel. It's definitely through Sirius. You can add it to your actual Sirius account. I have a Sirius account. I wouldn't be without XM Radio, as much traveling as I do. I don't add that to this because I turn this on and off. So you can, I have mine on for like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. And then I turn it off for 3 months. They don't charge me. You can take 3 months and then, kind of hang on to it, and those 3 months roll over to the next year. It's on there, and if nothing else, there's information here on where to go. So I would tell you, if you go to Sirius, I would tell you if you Google Sirius XM weather, you're going to get access to it. Man, when I reset this one up, I'll post all of the links to it. Boot camp info on Saturday. Boot camp info for Saturday will go out today. I'm working on an email that'll go out. Okay, there you go, Matt. Matt found it. See. Adam says, this is a great question. Any recommendation on a 4 or 5 foot antenna for a Lowrance Link 8? It has a 16 foot boat. 8 foot antenna would be cumbersome to try and mount. So we're going to wrap up today with this. Marine radios are VHF. VHF is line of sight. The higher your antenna, the further you're going to talk, the further you're going to receive. That's pretty simple. But I had some 16 foot boats. 8 foot antennas are a pain. Now, 2 things I will tell you if you can find them. And again, I hate saying this because I don't know if you can find them. Lowrance makes an antenna system called a quick fit. And what it is, traditionally the antenna cable comes on the antenna. You got to run it through, and if you bust your antenna, you got to take that off, run the cable back through. Lowrance has a system called a quick fit. It's a stainless steel ratchet mount, and the antenna cable goes into that ratchet mount, and inside the threads is a male termination. Okay? And then inside the antenna has no cable on it, is a female, and when you thread that antenna onto your ratchet mount, those two meet and you have a good connection. So what you can do is, if you break an antenna, it's very simple. You just unscrew the antenna and put a new quick fit antenna on. And conversely, for guys like Adam, maybe you want a 4 foot, I think they make a 3 foot stainless steel, and they make a 8 foot fiberglass. Maybe he's just playing around, he's gonna be close to shore, he puts his 3 foot on. Maybe one day he's gonna head 4, 5, 6 miles out. He can simply go into his garage, grab an 8 foot, screw it on the mount, and now he's got an 8 foot for those days he's out in a little bit situation where he might want a bigger antenna. It's called a Lowrance or Simrad, whoever carries them. It's called Quick Fit. It's an antenna mount, and there's 2 antennas. There's a 3 foot whip and an 8 foot fiberglass that goes on those. It's a great system because if something happens to your antenna, you break your antenna, whatever the case may be, you don't have to undo the cable, run it back through, and do all that stuff. The cable's actually attached to the ratchet, and then the 2 mate together. It's a great system. If you can find one. I'm still waiting on one for the pontoon, so there you go. That's kind of part of that. So anyway, so all right, so that's 8:15. That's an hour. We're going to call her good today. I'm going to send this to Mike. So we're going to put some little labels on this. So this will be Saginaw Bay Report. This will be Marine Radios, and we'll talk about XM weather. So that will be posted, and then Mike will have in a couple days, we will have this up on the coffee hour page of the website. So if you're looking for something particular, we'll take today's coffee hour, and there's a coffee hour link on the website. Give us 2 or 3 days, and this will be up there, so you'll be able to kind of go back and watch. I've got some of the old ones that I recorded, some of them I didn't, but we're going to go back and get these on there. So anyway, yeah, Lauren's talking about that that Lowrance quick fit in. Right now, as of today, I can't get any more. So who knows? Anyway, so all right, guys, have a great day. We will be back tomorrow at 7:30 for Christian Anglers. Appreciate your time today. I don't know what the weather is going to be this week. We may get a chance to maybe get together one other morning, depending on the weather. But it's good to see all you guys. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. That's all I'm going to say. I pray every day that all of our guys, or all of our gang, is doing well. So have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we will catch up with you next couple days. Yes, Rock, catch tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Over the Christian Anglers. So 7:30 tomorrow. So all right, guys, have a great day. Find one thing you can do today to make your life better. Boy, I got up yesterday and got over here and got some stuff done that took a lot of pressure off my mind. Thinking of Duncan yesterday. Find one thing you can do today to make a difference in your life. Continue to reach out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still having a tough time with this whole not being able to be with my friends all the time thing. Charter fishing's made it a little better, but man, reach out to somebody you know who might be struggling. And then third, find a way to be kind today. Just be kind. Find a way to be kind. Do something nice for somebody, especially somebody who you shouldn't maybe be nice to, or somebody who doesn't expect you to be nice to them. Find a way to be kind. All right? All right, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here next Monday. Thanks, guys.